They won't let me leave. They won't let me leave.
John, we haven't started yet. So today on Straight Talk for the recorded version, and we're also live from AML winter break.
Do you want to keep this running, or do you want?
You can. It doesn't matter. Why not?
Okay.
We have a viewer.
Hey, yeah.
So we have one viewer on Facebook Live right now. Maybe we'll get like 10 or 20 or...
Oh, they're gone.
Oh. Maybe I'll edit this out.
I'm going to cut this part out.
Okay, that's fine. We lost our viewer. All right. So in all seriousness, you know, when you enjoy a successful podcast or webcast program, you may wonder about the personalities behind the camera, behind the lens. And today... Successful, his word. Today I'm with Jon Isaacson, industry icon. He said to call him that? Industry icon.
Right.
So John, great to have you here. You know, you're from... Tacoma. It's got to be cold there.
It was 50s or whatnot, and then overcast.
Okay. So I'm from Ohio. It was like 1.
Yeah.
And snow. So now we're in sunny Florida. And I think it's like maybe 50.
Yeah.
And windy, and everyone down here is complaining about the cold. I'm like,
you
don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. Tell us about your podcast program, what it's called, when you started it, why.
It's called Straight Talk.
Yeah. Wait. This is about you, John.
Wait. It's called IAQ Radio. Wait.
It's on your shirt.
But we need to, first though, we have to get something out of the way. Your Straight Talk listeners may or may not know this, but John Downey, out of the goodness of his heart, hired you at CleanFacts, right? You begged him for the job, right?
Paid him off.
And out of his kindness of his heart, he brought you into the fold. And then you slowly eroded his power and authority, corrupted from the inside, and then overtook him, bought him off, kicked him out.
I made him an FIP. You know what that is?
FIP, no.
Well, he calls himself a former important person.
Okay.
But he's important. And I'm going to actually have him on later today.
But what we were able to do here, AML 2022, Straight Talk, we finally made amends between Jeff Cross and John Downey. We were all crying, and it was a beautiful
moment. I don't remember this.
Sorry, I just had to get that out of the way because people probably know that full history, right? It's a rich history. It's a cool
thought
story.
This would be a short recording, John.
No,
but
well, we got to go longer than you did with Cliff and
an hour? Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, your question was about podcast. Yeah, it's called the DYOJO Podcast.
DYOJO.
The Do Your Own Job Dojo. And our motto is helping you shorten your dang learning curve. So that's the goal.
So your topics. So when did you start?
So when COVID hit, and definitely shout out to you and what you were doing, a lot of people were putting some really bad information out there, right? And then you were getting really high-level credentialed people in the fray saying, and you know, on both sides of it, right? Like how they approach it, and definitely encourage anybody to go back and listen to that. So I was thinking, I hadn't quite seen some of yours, but I did. I called it 3 Questions with a Pro, and that was I was trying to find people that were maybe giving information out that I thought was interesting or different than just the chatter. And I initially brought the podcast. I would encourage anybody.
Don't worry, I'm going to put a link in the video description on YouTube to your podcast, so you can get one more listener.
One more. We need one because one of them died. So we're losing numbers.
Carry on, John.
So I went to an abatement contractor. They were having trouble reaching out to other contractors, and I said, "Well, why don't we start a podcast? Because if you're a contractor, I'm trying to reach out to you. You may not answer my emails, may not let me stop by, and but if I got you, I said, hey, do you have 15 minutes to be on my podcast? There's a better chance than not. People like self-promotion, right? And I told them, I was like, it doesn't even have to be successful. Nobody ever has to watch it, and it'll serve its purpose. And then they didn't like that idea. So I said, well, I'll prove it works.
Okay. So we started about the same time. The pandemic created opportunity.
Were you calling it Straight Talk right away? Or you were just kind of, it wasn't called Straight Talk right away, right? Because you had done videos as you go to things.
So I work for ISSA, and we have other programs, video, we have our magazines and our brands. But yeah, Straight Talk is just a program I do. It's actually my editorial for ISSA Today magazine is called Straight Talk. I did that first.
Okay.
And so when I started doing these videos,
supplement,
I just went with that name, and so there's some crossover from print to digital to multimedia. I've always done videos for like Clean Facts.
Yeah. Over
the years, painfully bad. I know you want to talk about my worst effort ever on your show, but who knows how this is going to look? This might be painfully bad too.
Aren't they all? All of mine are not my guests.
They're perfect.
Good guests.
Yes.
They rescue the show every time.
So when I do mine, it's like painfully bad on my part, and then I do the editing and get it pushed out, and I don't ever watch them again. And I think there's some famous movie stars out there that have the same philosophy.
Yeah.
You do the shoot, you put it out, you know it's good. You see the views are good, people are watching, they're engaged, but I don't want to see myself on videos.
Yeah.
So.
I'm working very hard. I'm sure if you've ever watched one, like some of the sound stuff.
Haven't watched one yet.
I wouldn't either. Some of the sound stuff just goes like this. And Jarrett Steer, who has GMS Podcast, his are like, yours are really crisp, his are really crisp.
His are the best.
Yeah, audio quality wise.
He's good.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a terrible podcast. Let's just be clear on that. GMS Podcast, terrible. Jarrett Steer, terrible person.
Or you call him Garrett Steyer like I did when I first met him. He corrected me nicely.
I always feel comfortable saying that because if anybody's ever met Jarrett, he's like one of the nicest people on the planet. So
I think he lived near you, or
he moved from the Midwest. He was in Indiana.
Yeah.
And then him and his wife moved to Washington, and he's got a shop in Bellingham now.
Yeah, and I remember I was on his podcast, and we talked about the murder hornets.
Yeah.
And but we really veered off here, so back to yours. Murder hornets.
Murder hornets. Yeah, we haven't had a murder hornet episode. So,
you haven't?
Yeah. So,
what's your favorite topic to cover? Like, is it marketing, management? Is it how to fix something technical? Is it something you might know, how to change oil in your own car?
Yeah, I can change.
Because you do that, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Personally, my favorite is whenever it unlocks some piece of restoration history.
Which is why he's bugged me for old issues of Clean Facts.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of them I have had, and some I have not.
Yeah. That working with all the publications trying to get, because you sometimes the links are dead, and then you've been very gracious and dig them up, and then sometimes, unfortunately, the information's not there.
Of course, you have John Downey, who should have all those copies back to 88 or 9 or something.
John Downey, another terrible person.
Mm-hmm. But don't make him mad.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about podcasts. Let's talk about, you call yourself the intentional restorer. Are you saying others are not intentional restorers? They just kind of do it by accident?
They're not the
intentional.
Right.
The is that capitalized the all the time?
Trademark, capitalized, copyright.
The intention.
Actually,
okay, tell us about it.
So a little of all that came together at the same time. I had the DYOJO, right, and was writing and submitted some articles to Clean Facts as well, and you guys have been very gracious to publish those. And the new
Do we
magazine,
have a copy here?
No.
Oh. Well,
I think Pete does.
It's okay.
Amanda did.
Maybe I'll pop the cover up in this recording.
I'm gonna hold. You got the photo.
Hold it over here.
Over here.
Higher. Right there. There it is.
There it is. There it is. Shout out to Amanda for her excellent job editing.
She's the smartest editor ever of Clean Facts.
Yeah. Much better than the last guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was 28 pages when we first submitted it.
I did not know that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 32 maybe. Michelle Blevins is one of the people, another terrible person. Man, we're just bringing in all the terrible characters.
I've never said anyone's terrible. I don't think.
I said it. You heard it here. Michelle Blevins. Terrible.
You're talking about someone who's kind of my competitor on my program.
Yeah, let's cage match.
Okay. No, Michelle's great. Go ahead. I didn't call her terrible.
You just called her terrible?
I called her great.
Listen here, buddy. I was writing some articles. She had encouraged to, she said, "Hey, John, nobody's reading your articles. You should make some videos."
She said, "No one's reading your articles."
Yeah, she said, "They're very terrible. You might be better at making videos because your articles are crap."
So when she said that, you were done with her.
I was like, no, actually, I respond really well when someone's got something legitimate to say and they're willing to say it to your face. I think that's a friend, right?
Boy, I got lots to say right now.
Yeah, please do. No, okay. She was saying, the videos. So the cringe idea, the one I reached out on, that's because I was going back through some of those old videos and just thinking, oh my God.
Oh.
And so, but you got to start somewhere, right? And anybody that puts anything out there and they're genuinely trying to help, it's going to be awkward, and it's, but you figure it out. Seth Godin, marketing guy, does really well. His thing is, just write. He writes a blog every day. Stephen King, famous author, might have heard of him, terrible person. He says if you want to be a writer, you need to read every day and write every day, and then you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you get better.
Absolutely. So
I haven't.
So are we doing like a product placement where
Diet Coke commercial?
Yeah, so maybe we'll get some
Diet Coke and swing line staplers. You heard about it here at the Straight Talk.
There you go. All right, so what does the future look like for you? What's coming up next?
Bleak. It's very bleak.
Well, you're going back to Tacoma. I've heard that's an exciting place.
It is very exciting. I actually live, so most people think Washington and Seattle, right? Tacoma's south of Seattle. Mm-hmm. And then I live east of that.
Let's say that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I live east of that in a small town called Puyallup, so even more poppin' than Tacoma.
Okay.
So,
well, I look forward to being on your show.
Yeah.
Is it video or just sound, voice?
We do YouTube and then video. Unless someone's really ugly, then we only do audio.
Okay, so
I'll be ready on video.
Yeah. Jon Isaacson, not live from Florida. Great to have you.
Jeff Cross, terrible person.